This week on Motorhead Garage, we're taking the fear out of electrical diagnosis, as well as taking care of car rust. And later on, John unveils a new truck restoration project. Next on Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting.
Welcome to Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting. Now I ride an iron horse rigid frame chopper. Besides my fillings falling out, my bolts are always coming loose. And I'm sure you have the same problem, especially if you're dealing with headers. Now headers, what a great addition. You got to get the fuel in and the exhaust out. These headers will do that. The problem with that is the bolts are always coming loose. You put your gasket on, you could blow out a gasket, you get the noise, you get the clicking, or you're losing performance. Well, the world's best locking fasteners have come up with a solution. Stage 8 Fasteners here has the header bolts that lock, and I'll show you how they work. They're really cool. It's a grade 8 alloy aircraft quality steel. It's a good bolt. And what happens here is you actually take this little plate and you're going to put it on there. And what does that do? Well, in essence, it's going to hit that header in a different spot. No matter what position you put it in, it's going to hit the header and it's going to lock that bolt in. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take this steel clip and you're going to put it on here, and when you clip it on, it locks it in place. Now, why do you want to lock it in place? Like I said, you're not going to blow out the head gaskets, you're not going to have to redo them again, and you're not going to get that aggravating ticking noise that you hear with an exhaust leak. And we can show it to you in action. It's real simple to use. Over here on my engine, I actually have the headers mounted. First thing I did, I put my 2 end bolts in. When I put my 2 end bolts in, I just went ahead and got my gasket and I slipped it in there. Once I slipped my gasket in there, I went ahead and I put the other bolts in. But I didn't tighten a few of them to show you how it works. So I got these end ones right here. So I'm just going to take a ratchet and I'm going to come back here. And it's nice because you can get these in 6 points, 12 points. You can get them in metric or you can get them in US grade. Doesn't make any difference. And the nice part is, as you can see, I can get these ones here. But this one I can't even get to. Well, I got 2 options at that point. I can come over and I can use an open end wrench, but Stage 8 has made it real nice because they actually have an Allen key right here in the center of it. So I can come with an Allen key and come here and snug them up and tighten them. Once I get them tight and I get the right torque specifications on them, snug them up real good, I'm going to come back with the locking fasteners and put them on there. Now everybody knows you're dealing with heat expansion, contraction, gasket leakage, all kinds of problems when it comes to header bolts, and it's as easy as this. I'm going to take my steel plate here, I'm going to put it on the bolt, and I know what you're thinking, well, what if it doesn't fit? Well, it fits in different positions, all of them, every one that goes around. So I can even come over here, and I can snug up my bolt even tighter, and I'm still going to have a position that it's going to go in and lock right on the header. And I guarantee you it's not going to come loose. Once I take my snap clip, I can go ahead and pop it on. Just take a pair of pliers, reach in there, and pop it on. And you can see right there what's happening. It's hitting up against the header. So when it hits against the header, there's no way that that bolt can back out. Once that bolt backs out, you start hearing that ticking noise, and blowing out gaskets, losing performance. Now, is that the end? No, it's as easy as popping it off. You can come over here, you can get some pliers. Perhaps you want to change them or use them on a different set of vehicle. Just pop it off. And when you pop it off, you can see the nice spring lock clip. A lot of these usually break, this one doesn't. You can pop it right off of there. Take your locking ring off, go ahead, put it on another vehicle, use them over and over and over again. It's a real innovative design. Stage 8 has all kinds of locking fasteners for all different things. You can visit them at stage8.com, and you can go ahead and look up any applications. Like I said, all the different bolts, header bolts, different applications for different cars. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by Dustless Blasting.
Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting, is being brought to you by Magic Creeper, ready, rain or shine. Tumbling Automotive, for all your automotive needs. Borla, the world's most winning exhaust. And by Dustless Blasting. It's the future of surface preparation.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting. Now, volts, ohms, and amps. We're talking electricity. Now, you may be feeling some fear or some anxiety. You don't have to anymore. Jeff, CEO of Power Probe. Man, you guys really have simplified and basically taken the fear out of electrical diagnosis. Tell us about some of your tools. We'll start on this end and work our way through.
Well, I think one of the reasons why we've taken the fear out, but thank you for that compliment, is because of the simplicity of our tools.
Right.
Our tools are actually designed after the simple automotive diagnosing test light. Utilizes battery current and ground in order to diagnose the vehicle. Every vehicle needs positive and negative in order to function. Well, our products have been designed to help the automotive technician fix more cars faster. This means that he can fix more cars in a day utilizing our tools because of their time-saving features.
And that equates to more money.
Absolutely.
Let's start over here with this one. What's this?
Now, the main feature of the Power Probe is its ability to power battery hot or ground to the probe tip with a simple press of the power switch.
Nice.
This right here, this unit that you just pointed out, is called our Power Probe Basic. Power Probe Basic has improvements over the original Power Probe that allows the technician to have more connectability, be able to see positive, negative, and open circuits immediately. It's got a 20-foot long lead, so once he's connected to the battery, now he can check the whole vehicle from bumper to bumper without needing to constantly look for a ground hookup as he would with a test light.
Exactly. Now I see a DVOM. I mean, you also offer that?
Yes. The DVOM and the Power Probe Basic combined together make quite the diagnostic team. But our DVOM, we designed it for the automotive technician in mind.
Now, you had mentioned test light. I know we don't want to use any test lights on these computer circuits. These are not going to harm them.
No, the Power Probe Basic uses LED, so it doesn't pull more than 10 milliamps of current.
Perfect.
That in and of itself is not, of course, going to destroy any computers, but the Basic itself is designed more for the automotive electrical diagnosing, not so much the electronics.
Let's step it up to your big package here.
Now, this is our Power Probe 4. It's our most advanced tool, and it was designed for the higher end technician, the more of the diagnostician. The Power Probe 4 will display voltage, and it will also show resistance. It also has the positive and negative power up feature with the power switch. It has an automatic circuit breaker reset. In the event you were to short it out, the circuit breaker will reset.
Nice.
But in the fact that you can do voltage and resistance with this, along with a couple of features there, such as a driver's test and the fuel injector mode.
Nice. Well, that's not going to mess with any computer circuits whatsoever. Hey, can we see it in action right here in our demo?
Absolutely. Let me show you the Basic. What's nice about the Basic is it has, first of all, as I said, a 20-foot long lead, so you can check the vehicle from bumper to bumper once you connect it up to the car's battery. Contacting a positive circuit is indicated by the LED lighting red. Contacting negative shows it lighting green. When you have no light at all, this means it's an open circuit. So here you'll see all three conditions of any DC circuit without needing to reconnect or repolarize your hookup clip as you do with these single clip testers.
Jeff, I got to spend hours and get some kind of feed or jumper wires and not short circuits out. You said I'm going to feed a component voltage and make it work?
Absolutely. That's with the power switch right here. You press the switch forward. You see how the LED light's red? That means the tip has battery voltage on it.
Wow, okay.
If you press it rearward, the LED light's green, and that means the tip has ground on it. So if you're working on a circuit and you suspect it of having a bad ground or something's not working right, press the switch rearward, the tip becomes a ground, apply that to the ground side of your circuit, and if everything starts working, there you go. You just have a bad ground.
Let me see it in action.
Now in this case here, let's see if we can't fire up a cooling fan motor. The lead coming out of the bottom of the housing is a ground. This you connect up to the negative side of your component, and then when you probe the positive side, it lights the LED green, showing that you have continuity going through that component. Okay. Now all you have to do is press the switch forward.
Look at that. It's running the fan, and that fan's probably drawing a few amps, and it's running right through that light?
Absolutely.
Or the tool, excuse me. Yeah, absolutely.
It just runs right through the tool.
Man, look at that. Well, Jeff, you're not getting this one back. I'm sorry. For more about these cool products, go to powerprobe.com. Now, there's plenty more Motorhead Garage. Stick around. We'll be right back after this break.
Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting, coming to you from Borla Commerce Park.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting. Now, one of the first things I do when I'm buying an old car or even a late model car, I check underneath for rust. Mechanical issues, no problem. Rust, I'm out. Well, no worries anymore. We have with us Joe. Joe from New Hampshire Oil Undercoating. Tell us about the rust and what's going on and your company.
Rust is like a cancer. It's a big problem in the Northeast. It is a problem that is evasive, and salt is the biggest contributing factor.
Which is getting under there and rusting the whole chassis out.
We started our business in a garage out in a dirt road, 1.5 miles in any direction.
And tell us a little about your product.
So the product is pretty low technology. It's a very simple concept. We, unlike the conventional undercoating, don't trap the moisture and the oxygen in there. Oil will displace the moisture, and it will draw it away from the base metal. It'll cut off the oxygen. Take either of those out of the equation and you stop oxidation. We also put in a green corrosion inhibitor so we can fight it on a chemical level. 90% of how this works is the physical presence of the product on the surface, and eliminating oxygen stops the process. And as long as you have product on, you kind of hold the rust at bay.
Well, how can you apply it?
We can apply it several ways. We sell do-it-yourself kits. We sell equipment that's airless, air-assisted, quick disconnect carbide tip. We have a basic kit. You can get into it for about $65, and you can apply the product yourself.
Now, your son Joey, he's going to apply it for us over there, but he's just going to use this gun. He's going to use the actual product itself in black. He's
going to use back to black. It is the same as our clear. The clear and the black, same as that product. The black is for cosmetic purposes. It has a biodegradable carbide tint to it.
And that's great. Just hook up air and shoot it. Let's take a look at Joey. He's in action doing it right now.
It's a pretty easy process. The surface should be clean and dry. You just want to put a consistent, even coat on the whole underneath of the vehicle, staying away from the exhaust and any other parts that get really hot. 2 or 3 passes will get a nice, even, consistent coat on the rust. It's a pretty easy process. You can do it in a garage or your driveway, or if you have ramps to put your truck up on, that all works. We have 2 different types of oil. We have clear and we have black. Black is strictly for cosmetic purposes. There's no difference between them besides the cosmetic aspect. You would use clear normally on newer vehicles to have no pre-existing rust, and you would use black on something that has rust already present on the underneath of the vehicle. The black will make the underneath of the truck look like a new vehicle.
Well, Joey made short work of that. You know, and I'm sure glad that he used a mask and safety glasses as well.
He did. It's a good idea anytime you breathe something in other than oxygen. But our product is a mineral oil base. It's a non-hazardous, environmentally friendly, no drip product.
Now, Joey proved to us that a do-it-yourselfer can do it. What about, I don't want to mess with this stuff, can I take it to a professional and get it done?
Yes, currently we have close to 100 dealers that offer the service and our product. They come into our facility, we train them, we sell them the product, the equipment, ongoing training. It's a great way for a mechanic not just to be reactive, but proactive.
Absolutely. Now, he also had it right there on the floor. What about like under a car? There's a lot of nooks and crannies and frames. I mean, do you have some products we could get into those
We do,
areas?
and this is typically what you'd find a dealer offering. This is a high-pressure air-assisted airless system. Fits in a 55-gallon drum. These are all quick disconnect carbide tip, so you could go from a 6-inch fan direct spray to a flexible 360-degree wand, all high pressure. Or you can get into this. Once you use this, you'll never go back to a cup gun. That's That's a carbide tip 45-degree wand.
That's going to lay it on there.
Yep.
And you also have these little things you can get into the frame as well.
Yeah, we actually make our own tools. So this is brake line, you can see brazed at the end, bent, and that is, we use that to get on the back side of a dump truck.
Awesome, awesome. Well, folks, there's $3 billion annually in rust repairs. So, Joe, I'm going to go ahead and take some of this stuff and go coat mine. You take a short break. We'll be back with more Motorhead Garage right after this break.
Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting, is being brought to you by Bulldog, tough and trusted. Stage 8, the world's best locking fastener. Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radios since 1977. And by Dustless Blasting, it's the future of surface preparation.
Man, there's about 1 million different places we can use this under the car, isn't there?
Sure is, Brian.
You know, a lot of great stuff came out of the late 1950s. Stuff like this classic T-Bird behind us and the iconic PP Blaster.
Since 1957, it's been breaking free rusted bolts, does a great job. But you might not know, they have a whole line of products, and they all been reformulated with Teflon fluoropolymers, which reduces wear and friction and enhances performance. Stuff like the silicone here. This is great. It's got the highest content of silicone. It's great for the rubber, the seals, and it lasts a long time.
Absolutely. There's an all-purpose lubricant as well that's great, again, for automotive uses around the house. Really, this is the product you're going to kind of have the go-to product on the shelf.
Yeah, and I use this one all the time. The garage door, man, squeaky garage doors, the tracks, the chains, works really, really well. And the cool part about it is the extreme agents in here for pressure can replace grease.
Yeah, most liquid lubricants are just going to get forced out of those places, but not with the not with that new high-pressure formula that they have. The dry lubricant around the house, you got window tracks, you have other opportunities that you don't want to have a liquid lubricant in there. This is great for that. Also, if you live in a cold weather climate, the inside of your snowblower chute, nothing worse than getting that thing clogged up in the wintertime.
And your last one?
Oh, my last one here is perfect. This is the chain and cable lube. So you got chainsaws, you got saw blades, you got all that kind of stuff. But my favorite, go-karts. If you got a go-kart out there and you're running around the dirt and the sand, you got to run around different weather, you keep the chain lubricated. This goes for bicycles and everything else as well. Inhibits rust and make sure you have a nice long-lasting lifetime of your chain.
Yep, sheds all the contaminants and dirt. Great product.
Absolutely. Since 1957, Eisenhower was in office when they invented this product, and they continue to make it better today.
Time now for Project 18.8 with Steve Flanders.
Welcome to Brothers Trucks, Project 18.8. For the next 13 weeks, we're going to take an old pickup truck like this, and we're going to turn it into one of those classic pickup trucks, short bed, hot rod pickup trucks. Steve from Brothers Trucks, now you got everything to do that job, and you're going to take someone like myself, who's not a fabricator, along with it, so I can do it myself?
Absolutely, and I'm not much of a fabricator either, so we're both in the same boat. And yeah, we're going to take 18.8 here, which got its name from an early 1900s metallurgist. This is the compound of adding chromium and nickel to metal to make it faster, stronger, better looking. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to sprinkle some love on this, make it faster, stronger, and better looking.
Which is the T304 stainless now.
That's absolutely right.
Awesome. Well, the first step is going to be doing the bed, shortening the bed. Why don't you take us through that project?
So to shorten the bed, we've got Brothers long bed to short bed kit, and the horsepower in this kit really comes from this template right here. Of course, the kit comes with your C channels and all the stuff that you need to replace when you turn a long bed into a short bed, but the real energy is right here in this template, and this is your step-by-step process of walking you through everything you need to know about making this truck into a short bed so that you don't have to follow some garage video that somebody made on YouTube, which is commonly the way people are doing it now.
Right, I see steps on here. Can we walk through the steps real quickly?
So yeah, the first step that we're gonna do actually is the disassembly. So what we're gonna do is take the bed off, and we're gonna start taking anything that connects the front half of the truck to the back half of the truck. So you're looking at your drive shaft, your front to rear brake line, your parking brake cables, your exhaust, wiring, and any other peripherals that somebody may have added over the years.
Right.
And we're gonna get rid of all that stuff. And then we're gonna move on to the template. This is gonna mount to the frame. And when we mount this to the frame, we've got our steps in here. And so the first thing we're gonna do is drill some holes on our panel here, and we're gonna make a cut in the frame. Well, once we've cut the frame, everything gets a little easier. We're gonna roll the frame out from under the truck. Okay, now that we've got the frame cut, we got our chassis moved back here, we got better access to everything. We're gonna drill 4 holes in this rear panel right here. Before we take the template off the frame, we're gonna take the cab mount rivets out, as well as the front bed mount rivets out. Clear that stuff out of the way, and that'll get us ready to move our cab mount back. And then we're gonna have good access to the rest of the modifications, which includes making another cut, using a couple of these marks in the template to migrate our cab mounts to a different location, drilling a few more holes. Also, we're gonna go to the back of the truck and hack off the back of the frame a little bit and move our bed mounting holes as well as our bumper holes. And then it's just a matter of bolting in our C channels. Sliding it all back together, and we got a short bed. It's really simple.
Some other hardware here. A kit comes complete. I see the bolts, we got the brake lines. I don't have to do any flaring or anything, so we can just strip it out and go to town?
Absolutely. The only thing that really needs to be done after we're all finished here is you're going to want to have a qualified drive shaft shop shorten your drive shaft 12 inches, because that's we're going to need to take that out so our drive shaft isn't too long.
Well, this is what's left of our template. Steve, we used all of our numbers. Everything went real easy. We got a gorgeous short bed truck here.
That's right. One day, couple of buddies, get yourself a short bed.
4 or 5 hours, nothing to it. Now, looks structurally sound, but what about putting a little weld on there?
It's structurally sound. We suggest you weld it back together. If you can weld, great. Go ahead and pop that on there yourself. Otherwise, plenty strong enough to drive it down to your local muffler shop or something. Slip the dude 40 bucks, let him throw a couple beads on there.
There you go. Join us next week for more 18.8 Truck Project.
That's all the time we got for this episode of Motorhead Garage. We're going to be back with more cool stuff next week here in the shop. Come back and see us.